What's up, everybody? Welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day. Hope everybody had a good weekend and a good rest of your week. It's THS Wrestling. Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News. Instagram.com/THS.Wrestling. And over at that hashtag show's YouTube page. We hope everybody's doing well. We're going to be talking about hello, party people. We are party people. That is for sure. My name is John, and joining me is Neeson. Sir, hello.
Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? Is everybody working off their quarantine 15 they gained? I'm trying to.
I don't even know. You know what? I had a realization today. I don't remember the last time I wore jeans. That's not, I mean, I'm not like, that's not like a weird flex or anything like that. That's just like, today I don't remember the last time I wore jeans.
I mean, I wish I could say that. Lately, I feel like life is getting back to being busy for me. It's like,
yeah, man. It seems like we'll see. I mean, everyone that watches our stream hasn't seen the new digs, the newish digs for THS Studio, but
yeah,
I'm itching to get back in there. But I'm also itching to not get COVID-19. So I'm just gonna hang out at home for the time being. So we're gonna talk about WWE SmackDown. We're gonna talk about the Undertaker. We're gonna talk about NXT and AEW. But something very monumental happened to start out. I don't know if it was to start out the week, but it was in the middle of the week. Someone on Twitter, and I do not have her name, forgive me. She spoke out against independent wrestling star David Starr. And it started a snowball movement with not only her telling her story, but many other not just women, some men too, telling their stories about wrestlers sexually assaulting them, not to sugarcoat it or anything. And it's pretty nuts. WWE had to have a all hands meeting for it. There was a lot of UK superstars that it was coming out about, and they've let some people go. They've let Jack Gallagher go. There's a bunch of their UK talent that I'm very sure will not be working for them anytime soon. And it wasn't just like individual wrestlers, it was promotions too. Some people from Progress Wrestling just today stepped down because they were employing some people that were not great people. I'm trying to think of who else was named. There were a lot of names named. And if you just go on Twitter, if you follow Matthew from Botchamania, he has been compiling them and making sure these voices are heard. And it's a real problem. And it's good that there's a light being shown on it, because we need to know about these sex pests, basically. We need to know about them. We need them to not be sexually harassing or abusing women wrestlers or men wrestlers for that matter. But yeah, Neeson, we have a private chat where we were all just like dropping names. It was just like this name, this name, this name. Pretty crazy week, but I think very needed.
Yeah, it was definitely it's needed, to get the voices to make people feel heard. And it's very, I feel like it's refreshing to see these companies react so quickly. We see AEW react quickly. We see WWE react quickly. And then we do see the ones that they do feel that, okay, this may needs a little more investigating and, and a little more research, and we need to dive into a little more. So I just think with the times, like, hey, this person needs to take a break, take some, go get counseling, go seek help, whatever's needed. Because you start to see, especially the WWE UK, man, like those stories were pretty nuts.
They were nuts.
And it was like multiple accounts of these stories as well. Yeah. So, there's something wrong there. So let's treat the human. Let's figure it out what's wrong. But you got to go do that outside the company. And I feel like they're doing that the right way. AEW the same. So I think during this time, it's a great especially now, since the world is still trying to get back on its feet and still trying to figure out things. And so these little things, all eyes goes on these companies, and I just think they're handling it the right way. So kudos to the women that are speaking out, and kudos to the companies in the way they're handling it. And even the wrestlers and how they're handling. Nobody's really. I didn't see anybody really like mouth off crazy. They're just like taking their L and going off and going to get and going to handle it.
Yeah. For the most part, I'm trying. There might have been one or two, and I'm not going to go through the whole list because it's a very big list. But there are one or two that kind of half-assed apologized. So that's a whole different story.
Tell you about them all sprays.
Well, man,
sorry.
That guy. I don't know. It's a wild ride with him, and I think the bottom has dropped out finally completely for me. Crazy. Yeah, but it's very nuts right now. Again, just listen to people's stories, listen to their what they are saying, and know that they are not the only people that are telling the accounts. It is these are all multiple accounts. There are accounts out there on Twitter that are compiling anonymous, like someone will tweet out something and then they say, hey, don't use my name, but this also happened to me. And they're getting various accounts. So it's just it's very ugly right now. So, but I mean, one of the things that came out of that was Matt Riddle was accused of sexually assaulting a female wrestler, I think 2-3 years ago. I don't have the timeline correct, so I apologize for that. But this news came ahead of Matt Riddle making his debut on SmackDown against AJ Styles, a dream match for most. He ended up winning, not the Intercontinental title, but he ended up winning the match. And Neeson, how do you feel about this? Because the news broke. They put out a press release about it. He put out some stuff about it. I think his lawyer did as well. His wife, like a whole bunch of people came out of the woodwork. Should they have edited this match out and maybe put something else in and waited a week or maybe even longer than a week? Because they did record all this ahead of time. It feels like like all that stuff in the morning comes out. They remove him from the preview, I think. And then they're like 4 hours later, they're like, Matt, congratulations, Matt Riddle, on your debut. Here he is on our Instagram, on our Twitter, on our YouTube. Yeah. I don't know. It just felt very not great.
I can see why people feel that way, but I think with the lawyer and this being looks like being a reoccurring case and issue, and apparently they knew about it. They knew about the issue beforehand. I think with all that information, they felt comfortable enough as is. I mean, yes, you do have to take them away from the promos because the news got so hot.
Yeah.
But I just think with information that they already gathered and the way they handled it with press releases, multiple press releases coming from WWE, coming from Matt Riddle, coming from the lawyer, showing that this is an ongoing situation, showing that WWE did know about it. I think that's why they had to continue it. It kind of like when Enzo, the same thing happened with Enzo, and we seen that it only was the reason why they really reason why they had to fire him is because he didn't tell them. Yeah, he lied and he didn't tell them. Right. And so being that Matt Riddle kept it honest, I was gonna say a buck or 100, or being that he kept it honest the whole time and it was very, very upfront with them. I think that's why they felt comfortable enough to continue to allow the match to air and continue to push them and to continue to have the whole roster come out, all the babyface roster come out and basically say this is the new mid-card guy. So
yeah. I mean, it should be a very interesting road for Riddle. I think for me personally, since that's the only account and it does really seem like it has been an issue for years, not saying whatever he did, I'm not like hand waving that shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It kind of sounds like I am. I am not hand waving the shit that Matt Riddle did. Let's just put that out there.
I clear it up for you. You're not hand waving. You're not hand waving, and what you're saying is that there's previous situations and conditions that apply to this one. So it's a lot more than just black or white. And meaning just like it's a lot. It's not just a clear picture.
Right.
There's a lot that needs to be taken. So it's not a hand wave. It's just that's literally like, hey, we have to wait and see how this unfolds.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not a hand wave.
Thank you. I was like, well, it kind of sounds like I was having my inner monologue with all of you watching. Anyway, speaking of someone that has a lot of inner monologue, Bray Wyatt made his return to SmackDown, and it looks like Bray Wyatt is back as Bray Wyatt. He said that his chapter with Braun was not, or that chapter was done, but he said that the next chapter wasn't done with this Bray Wyatt cutting an interview, blowing out the lantern. What do we think of this? Because it feels a little Matt Hardy-ish, where we have the Fiend, we have old school Bray Wyatt, and now we have Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. Or are they just scrapping all that other stuff and going, this is Bray Wyatt now, forget about all that other stuff?
I think they're doing what exactly you just said. I think they're going with old school, or they're establishing these three different type of Bray Wyatts. You have Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, you have Bray Wyatt, the cult leader, and then you have the Fiend. And I think with that comes merch sales, comes all the extra different character things. Yeah. But at the same time, I think this also adds a layer and gives somebody to play with or dance with, rather, until Roman comes back. It gives Braun somebody to dance with. And hey, man, like, we can see Bray Wyatt with the title, and people will be okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially maybe this Bray Wyatt, because with the Fiend, it's kind of like, how are you going to beat him? Even though he's been beaten a couple of times, but we're trying to make him the big bad monster guy. But at least this Bray Wyatt, we've seen be defeated a couple of times, well, multiple times.
Right.
I just hope this isn't them going, well, this isn't working, we have to do something, because that feels basically like Bray Wyatt's entire WWE career.
Yeah, I don't think, because it wasn't that, it's because they sold the crap merch, right? So I honestly think that in this time he has nobody else to go against.
Right.
Like there is no other big star. Like unless they have the Fiend like chase down Otis. But you have to be real particular on who you put the Fiend against, because the Fiend, if they're not a big person, they're just gonna swallow them up.
Yeah. I would be fine with seeing backstage segments of a horror film with Otis and the Fiend.
I would too, but first, they got to figure out how to make Otis a legitimate competitor for the main event.
Yeah, they have not figured that out yet. He has the briefcase, which is great, but he's, I think maybe not making him a lumberjack in that match would have worked, because he's just out there being a lumberjack.
They're not playing. I mean, hopefully they're like making you, because usually they do that, right? The person that wins the briefcase is hot for like a quick second, and then they kind of disappear, and then they start on this losing streak out of nowhere, and then next thing you know, they cash in and they're winning. So let's hope they do that.
So we're going in reverse order here. We're going to talk about something that happened on Monday Night Raw, which I think the news broke a little earlier. There were a lot of rumors that Christian was going to be coming back to Monday Night Raw, and he did. He opened the show with Randy Orton, calling Randy Orton, I believe, a coward. And Randy Orton then challenged him to a non-sanctioned match at the end of the night. Christian accepted, came out, and then Ric Flair came out for some reason. And then he low-blowed Christian. He's blowing a kiss to Randy Orton. Evolution, baby. Leaves.
Evolution.
He leaves, and Christian gets a punt kick for his troubles. And what do you make of this? I mean, it seems like Christian either is going to have. I did love the one more match tease. I thought that was very funny.
One more match.
I love that. That was Orton and
that was Orton and Christian. That was yes. That was the ladder match. Absolutely.
That was such a great match.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Christian wrestle again. It looks like maybe he's headed that way. We'll see. But he was stretchered out after the punt kick, which apparently seems to be making its return now that we're pre-recording stuff. We can change the camera angles a little bit.
Change cameras real quick. Even though they still didn't get it. They still didn't get it right. Wait. Matthew has an interesting concept here.
Maybe go ahead.
Maybe have the Fiend kidnap Mandy and have a ransom be the Money in the Bank briefcase. Not originally my idea. Thought I remember who was. Look, I love it. I love it. I think that'll be great. Also, don't want. I'm worried. I was worried that Mandy play the damsel in distress role too much with being on Otis's side. But I'm glad they're still making her her own thing with her and Sonya on Miss TV. But yeah, man, I love that. But back to
before you get back to that, I want to say Sonya was wearing that all black suit. Was that on, dude?
Sonya is. I'm telling you, she is incredible. I've been ever since she cut that promo a month ago, and I was just like, oh, it's it. They know who they have. This is early heel work of Triple H heel work, Rock heel work. When you've seen it, you was like, oh my God, give them a year. If they give them a year and they have the title, I bet you. They're definitely building her. And then she had a match with Lacey Evans a couple weeks ago where she beat the living crap out of Lacey Evans, and Lacey Evans just came away with the win at the end. But that proved to me, I was like, oh, this is some old school heel building. She's gonna be legit in a year. She's coming for the title.
Yeah,
for sure.
And her new shirt is amazing too.
Is that
the splatter rainbow one?
Yes, it is.
Goodness. Good stuff.
Yeah, she's Sonya. You're doing good. You're doing good, Sonya.
You're doing good, kid.
You're doing good. Christian and Randy Orton, though, man, he's definitely coming back to wrestle. Yeah. That punt kick, it's still not clean enough when they do switch the camera angles. You can still see it's a foot away. Yeah. But I love the fact that they're bringing a punt back, man, because it was just something about that punt. It was it was like how the DDT was back in the early 90s, right? It was once it was hit, it was a wrap. It was it was done. And that's what the punt is. And I think Randy Orton, the way he's going out on his basically his Shield and doing the best work that he's ever doing, and that basically turned into the Legend Killer. Randy Orton started with the Legend Killer, and now he's ending with the Legend Killer. And that's just, and I say ending just being we know this last couple of years we're probably gonna see the last of Randy. But man, this is some good Randy that we're seeing. And Christian coming back, I love it. I can't wait. I want to see the one more match. Only if he could get a title, if he get an actual WWE title, because I always wanted Christian to win the WWE. He won the world title, but I want him to win the WWE title, man. And I wish and I want him to do it, but I know, it's probably not gonna happen.
But what do you think of the Flair wrinkle here? What do you think of that?
I think I think it's great. I think you're about to say, Flair, Orton, and Evolution seems to be desperate attempt to counter the Ford coming back to with Arn and Tully. Nah, I don't think that. I think that first of all, Flair and Orton has a legitimate relationship.
Yes, and
Christian and Edge have a legitimate relationship. The only way else you could play against that if you had Triple H and Randy Orton.
Yes,
that'd be the only other person you could really put that with, or you had Cena and Randy. I don't know, like, you know, there's no other person that you had Ted DiBiase Jr. come back. I don't know, but I think the Flair and Randy Orton, man, I think that's how you use Flair. That's how you use your legends, and I think they're doing it right to me. What about you? Let's say you.
I just wonder where it's gonna go. Is Flair gonna be on screen every week now with Randy? Are they going to? I mean, as Jay said, is Evolution coming back? What is going to happen with this? I think is what I'm wondering at this point in time.
I definitely think that they're. I don't think Evolution's coming back. I don't think Dave Bautista will ruin his supposed to be Hall of Fame year.
Well, I mean, like a new Evolution.
You mean?
Would he handpick some other people to be an Evolution? Obviously, Flair would. I mean, hopefully not wrestle.
Yeah.
So he would need 3 more people with him. Do you think that there would be anybody else that he would? And he would be obviously, which is very strange. He would be the Triple H role at this point.
Yeah, I think. No, only reason I say no is because there's no, like, everybody else, which is a great thing. I love the fact that they're really going back to this. Everybody else is in a faction,
right?
Like, everybody is in some sort of faction. Reminds me of, right? You know, like it reminds me of the Attitude Era days,
yeah,
where there was a bunch of factions and it was basically like gang warfare, as Vince said. We want gang warfare.
Yeah. Survivor Series gang warfare.
Yeah.
So I will say, wasn't Donnie Dijak supposed to debut on Raw? Did that happen?
He did not today. Yeah, or it's on the dirt sheets, but I didn't see a promo for him. And apparently, if Paul Heyman is just an on-screen talent, there's rumors about him and Donnie Dijak being.
I would love. I think Dijakovic's a good promo, but him being with that would be great. Let's just can we just have a new Dangerous Alliance, please?
And I think, that's what I think. You know, it's rumored or whatever. I heard it splattered on the dirt sheets, but also I think that if it is true, that's what we need to be going towards, a new Dangerous Alliance with Paulie Dangerous having some NXT having, because I heard that the Priest, I want to say the Punishment, but what's his name? Damian Priest. Keep doing a little arrow thing. Damian Priest is coming up to the main roster.
Oh,
Donovan Dijakovic is coming up to the main roster, and so I think if you have them and you sprinkle in some other folks in there, that makes an interesting Dangerous Alliance.
I would love that.
And he just needs to come out with the phone.
I just for everyone in chat, Dangerous Alliance is one of my all-time favorite factions. Just an amazing group of people.
My God, imagine so I'm just a big Austin Theory fan, so I want Austin Theory in every major faction.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you know, that's just
why not? Oh, we'll see. I mean, you know, maybe he'll get taken away from untitled Seth Rollins project. They got to get a name,
right?
They got to get.
Yeah, I think they're. He said they're like fishing for name, or like trying to work through names. So they're definitely, but I think they're going to finally get a name once Damian comes to the group.
Oh, you think that's who's going to the group? Damian Priest?
Yeah, so Seth Rollins was on the Corey Graves podcast not too long ago, and he asked him, who else do you see coming with?
I heard that clip.
And he said, well, you have to wait. He's like, I have my eye on someone, but you have to wait and see.
Yeah.
And that was like 3 weeks before this actual happened. I was like, oh. And then I think I remember, like, I said in the show, I was like, what if Damian joined Seth Rollins, like, or something like that? And I was just like, oh, this could happen. And if it does, you have Damian ending Rey Mysterio's career. Woo!
That'd be great.
And the boy looks good. He looks, as Booker T says, my fellow dreadhead, he looks good.
Oh, Booker needs to be on more things. No, I love Booker T.
I love him, but he has that grizzled old vet like I don't know, he's good, but he's not good. You got to show me something. He has to show me something first.
My top 5.
Like, what does he have to show you? But what does he have to show you, Booker? What?
So
go ahead. Sorry,
do we want to go to what do we want to go to next? Because I think we lost a little track here. Do we want to go Taker? Or do we want to go?
Let's talk about Taker, man.
Okay, well, it's 3 weeks until Matthew's birthday. Happy birthday, almost, Matthew. Undertaker has retired, guys. So, the Undertaker, the dead man, he recorded a 5-part miniseries, glorifying how great he is. And then he ended it with saying, I don't know, maybe it's time. And then he cried or something. I don't know. I haven't watched any of it because I'm not a big Undertaker fan. So today I started seeing a lot of like, thank you, Taker. Thank you so much. Here's the one word I use to describe you. Overrated would be mine. But so apparently part 5 of this documentary, be gentle. Never. I will never be gentle. Anyway, so he said that he's retiring, ? And WWE is sure as shit making it sound like he has retired. So I guess he's done. I guess the Boneyard match was his last match, which is hilarious because he didn't put anybody over in that match. So that makes a lot of sense. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to shrug. I don't know if anybody else watched the Long Gone Summer when they asked Sammy Sosa about steroids, and he just kind of shrugged like for 15 minutes. That's what I'm going to do whenever somebody asks me how I feel about The Undertaker retiring. It's like, I don't know. Sure, great. Do you think he's actually retired, Neeson, or does he wait for that sweet, sweet Saudi blood money?
I literally just wanted to back out and give you your time and let you discuss the man, the myth, the legend, and the one we all love so much.
No.
Mark Calloway, aka Undertaker.
Well, I mean, I think you should just love the Undertaker and not the man, Mark Calloway, because he seems like a real piece of shit.
Yeah. So first of all, I really love this documentary. I thought they did a great job. I think it sucked with the timing, being that it came on right after Last Dance, or right like towards the last dance. It was called Last Ride, and it got pegged of copying. But guys, it can't copy if it was already cut and like done and ready to go. It just sucked with time, but I really liked it. I thought, I know people are like, this is ruining my image of the Undertaker as a kid, but honestly, I think it is the right time. We've seen the Undertaker be more quote unquote human than ever in the last couple of years. And so this is the right time to have this tell-all documentary and to show this vulnerable man and the man that he is, and have people relate to him on a different level. I know we talk about Pingo not really being a fan of the Undertaker, but him being able to see Mark Calloway and him being able to see, coming on the heels of the Boneyard match and him be playing the badass Undertaker, the best Undertaker, right? And now you're seeing where that came from, and so you get diehard wrestling fans like Pingo to watch this and to understand this. You get me that I've been a fan of the Undertaker, but I love the fact that it's revealing who the man really is. And just that last episode, man, him talking about his brother passed the day before they shot. His brother died the day before they shot the Boneyard match.
Oh,
and
really?
Then, yes. Oh. Then his nephew, or Michelle McCool's nephew, died when the week he came back from shooting the Boneyard match. And so this crazy, wow. and so him just saying that he knew that wrestling, yes, I almost cried during it, man. Like, honestly, he knew that wrestling wanted to be, he said he knew that wrestling was over because he wanted to spend time more with his family ever since the Goldberg incident. And he said he, just 2 inches away from being done because the Goldberg dropped him on his head. Yep. And so just knowing that, but knowing how much he loved the business, he talks about it here. Shane talk about it here. All these people talk about basically like, look, man, when it's your time, to retire, like you got to go, but we know how you determine it on your own time. I literally almost cried watching this because it was a thing of this man that we seen not only stay in WWF to E and go through all these eras and go through these changes. I remember watching the episode when he came out in a white sweater and was like, basically the day, it was just like that Monday, he was no more Dead Man Undertaker. And he had like a white type of sweater on or something like that. And I just was like, this is weird. Like, this is
when he was rolling.
And so but yeah, he had like a white sweater. And then I remember the Duster Pants Undertaker, and then Big Evil, right? Like these different iterations of him. And now we're seeing this man that's basically on this last Raw. It's what if I was a Hogan fan, like I will be feeling right now. Like I'll be feeling like the last remnants of this legend, but we're actually hearing him. We're hearing him navigate through this. We're hearing him talk through this. Like he's they had footage of him in November. They talked about AJ Styles asking him, like AJ Styles literally asked him for the match, like, can I have the match? And he was like, nah, man, I'm not doing it. But he was teaching at the Performance Center. Right. And so all these things that happen. So is he retired? I don't think so, because he never really said he's retired. And I think we're going to get one more Sting and Undertaker type of match in this type of world if it can happen. But I just think he's never saying never, but he is going away. And, if he doesn't end up at Mania next year, don't be surprised. But if he does end up at Mania next year, don't be surprised.
You better not come back to Mania. You can't have a 5-part documentary and then being like, well, I think it's time to go home. And then if he keeps rolling, which is my favorite. If I had to pick an Undertaker that I loved the most, it was for sure Biker Taker.
Of course. I mean, yeah, I loved corporate ministry and ministry Undertaker, just because when he used to like sacrifice people, I used to thought that was the funniest thing. Like, come here, Stephanie.
Where do, Stephanie?
He's like, nah! And when Austin was on a little thing, he's like,
Did you see Big Swole do her tribute to when she drove away with Britt Baker?
Oh yeah, she did do that. That is right.
I thought that was funny. But I mean, more than, I think for me, when I was a little kid, I didn't really get the Undertaker. I was never really a fan. I think for me, one of my favorite childhood moments of the Undertaker was when he joined Lex Luger and the Steiner brothers, and in Survivor Series, and he lifted the jacket up and he had the American flag in his coat. And I mean, Biker Taker for me was when he really, he always cut promos, but it was kind of just like, all right, he's just saying rest in peace and they're gonna be dead and stuff. I don't know. But for me, Biker Taker, and for Ministry Taker, because my favorite part about Ministry Taker was on commentary, they were like, the man known as Mark Calloway has lost his fucking mind. He thinks he's actually the Undertaker. Like, that's how they framed it, was that he was Mark Calloway thinking that he was the Undertaker as a crazy person.
Really?
Yes, they did do. I think Vince McMahon on commentary said it at one point, and it was that's just a cool wrinkle to it, where this guy completely lost his mind and is like, well, I'm going to do some occult shit now. Which is great. I mean, that whole era was great. And then Biker Taker was great because it just showed his promo skill a little more to me. And he wore those snakeskin pants that one time.
I'm telling that now people could go see when he wrestled Mankind, he had the little bat wings. Go watch it. It's crazy. He comes down with bat wings, guys. The Undertaker had bat wings. He was a bat. And who knew that the Undertaker was really Batman? Shit's crazy. He also had American flag in his coat once, but that was also a thing. Yeah.
And then Undertaker versus Undertaker. That was another crazy memory I had.
That was another crazy thing.
And then also Leslie Nielsen. Where's the Undertaker? He went around the world trying to search for the Undertaker. So, I mean, I do have some good Undertaker memories. I just have heard a lot of nonsense about him, and I don't care.
Okay. So what's the what's next? What's next?
we got NXT. Let's head on over to NXT as we take a quick detour. So we're gonna get to the main event of NXT. Do not worry.
Okay, cool. Just make sure.
So we had Keith Lee and Gargano and Balor come out. Everyone wants to fight for the North American Championship. Adam Cole's also out there with the NXT World Championship. And it's announced that this coming week, we're going to get Lee versus Gargano versus Balor for the North American Championship. Whoever wins that match will go to face Adam Cole July 8th in a winner-takes-all champion versus champion match. Now, we had Becky 2 belts. We have Bayley Dose straps.
Bayley Dose. Oh, are we going that? Are we doing that?
What?
I was like, are we going there now?
No, we're not going there now. I'm just saying that and we also have Naito, who has 2 belts over in New Japan. Do you think WWE do you think that we might be getting a little fatigue on the double straps here?
No, I don't think that because I don't think that's like I don't think that because you have a time where you have to keep things interesting, and I think with that you could be able to reset a lot. So yeah, you have Sasha and Sasha Bayley Dose straps thing going on, but that's going to pay off eventually. Right. And then with these, the only thing left for Adam Cole or Keith Lee or to make Karrion Kross even bigger is to put the gold on both of them. Like that, I mean, to put both of the golds on them. Like that's the only way. Unless because you look at Adam Cole and he ran through the whole roster.
Yeah.
Like people forget he already beat Finn Balor. He already beat Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
He beat Keith.
He's beat all of them. Yeah.
He beat all of them. So the only way this can work is if he's the gold of all. Like you literally make him that guy for NXT and the pinnacle of NXT moving forward, which I feel like he deserves.
Yes.
Or you put it on somebody else where then they could say they are now that guy, and Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era can move off, and then that somebody could drop the title somewhere else. So I think there is a story to play. I don't think there's just a hodgepodge rushing this thing.
Right.
So yeah, I think there is something to play. I know I see that Jay says that it's 100%.
Yeah, 100% fatigue.
And I understand if people feel like it's fatigue. I get it for sure.
Yeah, it's just I just hope that when we get to because when they do champion versus champion matches and they hype them up for a while, like this match is still 3 weeks away. Whomever is the North American champion, sometimes we don't get the payoff that we want, where somebody interferes and it's a double DQ, and you also have to realize the 1st and the 8th, those are both of AEW's Fyter Fest cards. So they got to ramp it up to make something awesome on the other channel, try to pull some viewers. I just I don't know if I could, and being a huge Johnny Gargano fan, I don't think I could see anybody else besides maybe Keith Lee holding both belts at the same time.
I think if you're gonna do it,
Adam Cole too, those two.
Yeah, I think you're gonna do it. I think you put it on Keith Lee or you put it on Adam Cole. If Johnny Gargano does get it though, I can say it's gonna make some good television too. Like I think him actually being able to now run it like NXT the Gargano way, that will make some sense.
I think the other thing is like you have the face in Keith Lee, you have whatever Finn Balor is, because I don't even know at this point, and you have the quote unquote cool heel in Adam Cole, and then you have like the chicken shit heel in Johnny Gargano. Right. So I think storytelling wise, yes, Gargano somehow winning both the belts the Johnny Gargano way would be like, oh, this asshole won those belts, basically. Instead of like Adam Cole, a lot of people would be happy about it. I feel like with Gargano, it would at least tell a different story, and he would get that heat for being super annoying.
Yeah. With the Jay says less belts with a rating system would help the hype. Missing the exclusive hype. Yeah. Okay. So what about AEW?
Yeah.
And their rating system and less belts. I don't think that. I mean, I hear what you're pointing at, right? Like I do. I kind of see it where it should be, but I think we're seeing that in modern day where we're at right now. We're unable to really solicit like the reactions that they're getting. They have to literally get from internet, like whatever's trending, they have to go to. Whoever's going to win 2 belts, that's going to trend. So they have to go towards trending, unfortunately. And that's just because of the state of the world that we're in. So, but I get what you're saying with the ranking system. It's just that we've literally in like modern day 2020, June 2020, have seen wrestling and rating systems in American wrestling fail.
Yeah. And it failed pretty quickly. And it, like, if someone's getting a title shot and they're not number 2 or 3 on the ranking, then if someone has to explain it to me, that's not great.
Yeah, like what is that? What's the point of a rating system? Like, and then you want to make me as an audience, you want me to believe that. You want me to believe that this person getting a title shot could win, even though he's ranked like number 5, and the number 2 person still had like that doesn't. You're not.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense, man. Hello.
Booyah Gaming. Hello. What's up? How are you?
Booyah Gaming. All the peace signs. Peace. So can we get to the real story though? Like
we can get to the real story.
It's the real story.
The Dark Order in AEW. No. So main event, which very well deserving. It was a sandwich of tag team title shots here. But we ended the night with the match that should have ended the night. We had the Golden Standard, I believe is what they are calling themselves, or the
Golden Role Model. Golden
Role Models. Who's the Golden Standard? That's somebody else.
That is Shelton Benjamin.
Yes. Oh, and Shelton might be with MVP soon. Oh man, yes. MVP is gonna get his own little thing. Anyway.
Yes.
Sasha Banks, Bayley, tag team champions, taking on Tegan Knox.
Yes.
Shotzi Blackheart. This match was awesome. I loved it. The finish was great, where you thought for a second it was gonna happen, but the grizzled young vets, not that other tag team, Bayley and Sasha pull one out here. Great. This was so fun. I had a really good time watching this match, and it got me to thinking, if we only have one set of women's tag team champions, they should be going to every show. How do you think? Well, I guess first of all, what did you think of the match, Neeson? And then what do you think of them, much like a television champion, being on every show, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And I'm not just saying like for as long as this run happens, just as we go forward, because I think we don't have enough tag teams for one of them to just sit stagnant on a brand.
Okay.
Is that you looking at the main event?
Okay. So Jimmy, yeah, we need Tegan and Sasha on the show like next week, Jimmy. Like, I need you to make that happen, Jimmy. All right. Sorry, guys. I had to tell Jimmy to get Tegan and Sasha on this show so we could talk about two of the greatest female I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Two of the greatest wrestlers on the planet walking today, and they just so happen to be under the WWE banner. Jesus Christ, Lord have mercy on my soul. Sasha Banks and Tegan Knox was in the ring also with Bayley and Shotzi. Look, they're amazing. They're incredible. They're fantastic. But this match proved that WWE, and they didn't need any extra proof, like any extra certification, any extra evidence that WWE has the best female roster in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I said it, in the world, because they're able to connect to more than just one type of audience. They're able to connect to everybody in the world. And why do we say that? Because what happened at the end of that match? What happened? Oh, we had Io Shirai come out, and we had an actual interaction with Io Shirai and Sasha Banks. And when I tell you, my body just damn near exploded. Like, I didn't know what happened. I seen my heart on one side. I seen my intestines over my head. I think my kneecap was in my mouth. I don't know what was going on. All I know is that I need Io Shirai and Sasha Banks main eventing a WrestleMania, a takeover, a backlash, a Great Balls of Fire. My Great Balls of Fire was on fire. I don't know what was going on with my body or with the world. Look, all I know is from one moment on Wednesday, we were at peace, and that peace came in the form of Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Tegan Knox and Shotzi, with the end ending with Io Shirai holding up the NXT Championship, pointing at Sasha. And Lord, do we want the gold models having all the gold? Yes, we do. Yes, the hell we do want the gold models having all the gold. Yes, we do want a female power trip. Yes, we do. Yes, we want it and we need it, ladies and gentlemen. And look, I'm gonna get off my pew right now. I promise I'm gonna step down. But look, this was a word that was put on by Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Road Dogg and Terry Taylor and everybody over at NXT, that WWE has the best women's roster in the world, and they showed you that because it's the most entertaining, the most athletic, and God damn it, it's the most beautiful. And so therefore, Wednesday nights, we need Sasha Banks and we need Sasha Banks and Bayley being on Wednesday, every Wednesday. They could work Fridays every Fridays, and Mondays every Mondays, because there definitely aren't enough female tag teams, period. No. So they should be going to these different rosters. But if they just showed that they have gold on their hands. I mean,
you mentioned Sasha and Io. Like I said, July 1st and 8th, they need to fill out those cards and make them competitive. And what better way than to have Sasha versus Io for the NXT title? That would be a lot of fun. Let us know what you think in the chat.
Matt, I do hate you. Happy birthday, though, in a couple of days. But yes, I do hate you. I think the right team won because we got Io Shirai at the end of it. Do you understand? Io Shirai came out and was like, "Oh, you're the gold model. This is my NXT." And what did Sasha say? Yeah, I made NXT. You're just paying rent. You forgot. She's the boss, the blueprint, the standard, the landlord, paying rent. Don't forget. I can't wait. We need that card filled out.
They have to do that match.
July 8th, Sasha versus Io Shirai. Look, Jimmy, look, let's get them on. Let's get Tegan and Sasha on the line, Jimmy. Let's figure it out. We could do it. Sorry, guys. I was talking to Jimmy, trying to get Tegan and hi, Tegan. Hi.
Not the end of the show yet.
Oh, well, it should be.
The sign off.
It should be.
So AEW this week, a pretty good show. I want to talk about I thought it was a good show. I thought the main event was fun. We got Orange Cassidy interfering at the end there. And then we set up, speaking of July, yep, there it is. Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. I'm very interested to see how this match goes. And I think Jericho kind of picks and chooses who he puts over. I think old Orange Cassidy might get one over on him this time around. That would be very cool, I think. But anyway, there was a lot of Dark Order stuff happening. We had a match with Anna Jay taking on Abaddon, that's a look. Very scary. When we hyped up Anna Jay, as you know, she's going to be on Dynamite again. Here's a video package of her and her backstory. And then she straight up loses to Abaddon clean in the middle, which is very shocking because they hype her up so much. And immediately after she loses, here comes the entire Dark Order. Dark Order comes out. Evil Uno goes over to Cabana. He hands him an envelope. Cabana open. There's a lot going on here. He hands him this envelope. Evil Uno. I mean, just as a shoot, one of the nicest dudes ever. He hands him this. Colt looks at the thing. He's very confused. And the Dark Order helps Anna Jay to the back. And Colt Cabana looks on confused, but we find out that it is a contract that he is looking at, which will be, I believe, next week. It's Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss taking on Colt Cabana and Mr. Brody Lee. Now, in the chat, Jay has said the Dark Order is a freaking joke. Now, that match was an embarrassment. I think that was the point. It was supposed to be an embarrassment. So, Neeson, what do you think of the Dark Order going towards the women's division now? And how do you think this Colt Cabana thing is going to play out? Because Colt Cabana has been Colt Cabana even when he was Scotty Goldman. He has been Colt Cabana his entire career.
Cabana.
Do you think him joining the Dark Order and maybe changing his persona would be interesting? Or do you think that this is just building up to a Brody Lee Colt Cabana singles match?
In these moments, I like to look at wrestling if I didn't know what wrestling was and I just started it. So if I just seen Colt Cabana, and I could instantly, as terrible as I think the Dark Order thing, they botched it, like used the wrestling term, and they just basically destroyed it, and they're trying to build it back up. If I was to cut on the TV and see the Dark Order on TV, I would instantly know this is a cult. This is some type of cult leadership, right? And they're trying to recruit people. So that would make me interested. It's like, why are they trying to recruit him? Who's that guy? Oh, they said his name is Colt Cabana. Okay, well, why are they trying to recruit Colt Cabana? I don't know who that guy is. That's interesting. So that already makes my mind say, okay, well, who's Colt Cabana? Is he going to join? Like, if he joins, why is that a good thing? Why is that a bad thing? I think it's better if he did join, because that would give him more of a story in AEW and the people that don't know who he is. I believe that the reason why AEW has fallen into this, you know, I wouldn't say like mundane, but just spinning their wheels basically, is because they relax so long on the audience know who these people are.
Yes.
And so now it's to the point where, okay, well, you want to grow your audience. And I mean, yes, they are doing great numbers between the 18 and 59 demographic, as Chris Jericho made it a point to say against the greatest tag team wrestler of all time, Sasha Banks, on Twitter, because they did beat them in overall ratings, by the way. Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Tegan Knox and Shotzi beat Chris Jericho in the main event. The La Sexy Gods in ratings, but that's neither here nor there. So, but I do think that he should join, because it gives them a story, and it also gives Dark Order something, because with them not even, like, they should have, with them not having Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels in it, or just everybody else that recruited. Like the only people that actually got was the Beavers.
Yeah, the Beaver Boys.
The Beaver Boys, yeah.
John Silver and Yep.
Yeah, and what did they do with them?
They're just wearing masks and they're on dark.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we had, Super Smash Brothers, the original Dark Order, just, over in Canada, I guess, not wanting to come back to America. They are now, obviously. So it's a bit of a start and a stop with them. And I mean, I almost think they should have just buried it when the COVID-19 started happening, because Brody Lee debuting, while it was very cool, it wasn't in front of a crowd. They've had the big debuts that you want in front of a crowd not happen in front of a crowd. And I mean, they can't do anything about that, but
they could have ran, they could have ran the promos that they were doing, like the pre-tape, like infomercials the whole time. And then Brody Lee, I feel like Brody Lee he still could have premiered, but he didn't have to premiere under the Dark Order yet. And then it could have revealed that it was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Yeah. Would have been great.
I wish Vince McMahon was really the assaulted one. I wish that was the case.
Could be. With regards to Anna Jay, I think it is interesting that they went the whole, here's how she's debuting, here's a big video package about her, and now she seemingly is being courted by the cult. So I think it would be interesting. Big Swole is her own big crowd. That's very true. She is rising her time for sure.
She's great. Her name,
right?
She's great. Her name isn't. I will continue to say that.
All right.
She's great. Just change her name.
I think Anna Jay in a different gimmick would be interesting. And I mean, I guess we'll see what's going to happen. I feel like they all don't need to wear masks, though. That's just me, I think. I don't know.
I think so. We've seen that on NXT, right? Like we see the Carlos Escobar and Raul and Joaquin Wilde. Like we see them unmasked. We see the instant impact that it has to be able to connect to their face, and but you can still look like a unit. Only thing I will give them a knock on is that they should not be in suit, because Seth Rollins is doing that on Raw. Right. You should change your outfit. But other than that, I think maybe the mask things work if you didn't know who are under them. Right. Like if they have if Cabana was under the mask, you didn't know it was Cabana until they revealed it was Cabana, and then like basically like the tiers, like the lieutenant unrevealed himself, and then like later on down line the other person, like you could have that story, right? Like to reveal, and then then the important people don't have on masks, but this is where we're at.
This is where we're at, and where we are at right now is Out of Time. Nailed it.
That's why you're a professional.
That's why I'm a professional. Guys, thanks for joining us. A lot of good stuff in the chat. We're here every week at about 7 p.m. California time. California time. So let's see. Neeson, you got anything to plug?
Yes, guys, if you love any sort of creative people, and if they're musicians, if they're painters, if they're actors, if they're dancers, if they're whatever the case may be, please follow my new show. It's a full interview show. It's called In a Session. It's NINA, the letter A, session, SESSIN. You can follow it on Instagram. We have shows that come out every single Wednesday. Right now we're doing our at-home editions, but very, very soon we'll be releasing our full network shows, and it's amazing. We have some amazing guests. And if you are a guest or if you are a creative and if you want to be on the show, please follow and let us know, man. Because at the end of the day, this show is about creatives and shining lights on them and their journeys of triumphs and successes. So definitely that is the only thing I want to promote because I love it. And it's also been killing me softly. So please follow it. What about you, Johnny? Don't you have like professional? You got multiple things to promote.
NOTLG.com is where all of my podcasts live. It's a podcasting network I run. I have a professional wrestling podcast called Tornado Tag Radio. Where I think 237 episodes in. We didn't record this week, because of the Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to any dads out there that are watching this stream instead of
I'm the pappy
doing dad things, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, NOTLG.com. I have a professional wrestling one. I also have a Doctor Who podcast, which has also been going strong for a while. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Twitch.tv/that#show. I've been trying to stream my Modern Warfare gameplay a little more there. So go check that out.
What is it again? It's NLTOG?
NOTLG. Not LG.
Got you.
There it is. Yeah, go check out that. We got a lot of other different podcasts in there as well. But for us, Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, Instagram.com/THS.wrestling. That hashtag show on YouTube. There's no actual link. You just have to look up that hashtag show and hit subscribe, and you can watch us on YouTube as well. And most importantly, that hashtag show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.